talk about the homeless prevention and there being $2 million and some change put over to there, when we talk about the homeless prevention, are we talking about overhead costs for those agencies, or are we really talking about helping people go from homelessness to having a place of their own? Because what I'm sort of hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Helen, is a lot of these things seem like we're giving money to emergency shelter care, to maybe some of the haven arrest kind of facilities, but we're not really helping those individuals who need housing. And so that concerns me. If we're using it for overhead, if we're sending it to those different housing agencies, but there's actually not putting people in houses. And then you have, okay, go ahead, Helen.
No, it is for rent. And when I mean, we're not just looking at 1 month's rent. We're looking for several months' rent. So obviously you have to pay people to do this, but there is money going out towards paying people's rent for 3, 6, 9 months. So, and if you're hearing anything else, please let me know. But it is supposed to, and obviously there is a line item for homeless shelters. It's identified there.
Right, yes.
But the money is meant for security deposits, and there's and rental assistance for a longer period of time. And that is something that we have been pushing over and over and over again. So like I said, if you've heard something, it's not, please let me know and I will look into it. I do know there is, there is, we need more rental housing, but the agencies are supposed to help, not just, hey, we have this money available, but hey, why didn't you call landlord A, B, C, D, and E? The Continuum of Care has also just hired, maybe in the past 3 months, an individual whose primary job is to go out and establish relationships with landlords. Hey, we have a population we would like you to rent to. We have money for security deposits, and we have money for rent up to X amount of months. So I'm hoping that will help kind of clean up some of the backlog that's been possibly developed.
And so when we talk about backlog, when these funds are available to help with rent, are we talking about just the housing stock in Akron? So, example, I have a homeless person who needs housing. Finding rentals right now, at least those that are affordable for people, is few far in between lately. So, what if they find housing in Cuyahoga Falls or Barberton? Are we able to use funds if they find one that's not in the Akron municipality, or no?
So there's 2 pots of money. So the old traditional emergency solutions grant pot that we got, that's like $500,000 a year, that is restricted to Akron. The CARES Act money, I believe, I will verify, that is eligible countywide.
Okay.
And I will check on those regulations just to verify. And if there's some miscommunication between, that and the agencies that are carrying these projects out for us, I will reach out to them and make that clarification.
Right. And if you could, Helen, I know this is going to be cumbersome for you to do it. I apologize. If you give me a list of the agencies that we've given funding to homeless shelters last cycle.
I gave that to you.
I looked for it. I couldn't find it. If you could re-forward it to me.
Yeah.
If you could, I just want to sort of kind of see who, because here's my concern. We have a lot of people who are living outside. Some of those are returning citizens. Some of those don't have glowing records. And so some of them aren't eligible to go into the haven of rest, but does that mean that they're ineligible for housing? I want to make sure that we're still, even if they're not eligible to be in the haven of rest, that we are still trying to help get people out of the code.
Yeah. Yep, I will, but I could have sworn I will resend that.
Okay.
The other, if they're sex offenders, that's a different category. Mm-hmm. But I think anything else, I mean, I don't think they should be looking at if they have, and I don't know my felonies, but the lower felonies, I don't think that should be a criteria.
Okay. And so on the minor home repair, I see there's $400,000 set aside for that. If we could talk before we pass this budget about increasing that, because even when we talk about having all these funds sitting over in the lead paint abatement section of housing and community services, and we know that there is a severe backlog that is not being addressed, maybe if we can move some of those funds over to minor home repairs, because one of the main calls I always get are from my elderly residents. And they want their porches painted. They want to be able to sit on their front porches. They may need windows. So maybe if we can increase over on that minor home repair, I think that would really help us to be able to weave through some of these issues that we may be having over in the lead abatement department until we can figure out how to push some of that paperwork. And I think that's it for now. Thank you.